Hello there and welcome back. I'm almost struggling for words this morning because I have, out of the blue, stumbled across this stunning winter wonderland. We've got snow, we've got a hoarfrost, we've got some interesting light around, and I want to make something good of it, something print-worthy, but I just don't know where to begin. Before we get going today though, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need a domain name, a website or an online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Right, I've set up for a shot and it feels like one of those days where the conditions are going to disappear, and that's kind of feeding into my sort of anxiety, like that I need to get something straight away. So I've really rushed down here to this little spot, and it's one of the things that's good about scouting an area out is when you then do have conditions like this, you have a few ideas in your head, and that is luckily what I have. So I knew about this spot and I've come straight here. It does look incredible. We've got this lake here and it's just super flat. There's some lovely reflections. The trees look incredible, and there was some ducks hanging out a second ago. So I've captured a kind of really subtle wide image of this whole scene. I then got in a little bit closer with the 70-200 that I have on here and got in with the ducks with some of these trees to the side, kind of framing them. What I'm waiting for though is when I arrived here, there was a lovely little outcrop. You might be able to see it just in the distance there. That was producing a really nice form, very simple, with almost like a triangle coming in from the side, almost negative space around it being created by the water and the sky, and it's all very white and very beautiful and very clean, and that's what I love about it. However, the fog's got a bit thicker since I've set up, and that opportunity doesn't exist at the moment. And also, as that was happening, some of the sky or the cloud above cleared a little bit, and there was some warmth in it as well. So the temptation is to move on and try and capture something else. But the problem is where I am is everywhere is quite a big walk between the different compositions that I have in mind. So I think what I'm going to do is wait for a little while, enjoy this moment. I've got this whole place to myself, this whole winter wonderland to myself. What a morning. What a morning. Right, I've decided to move because the cloud has cleared apart from where it's hanging over the lake. And I have a composition in mind up here, a tree, a little lone tree that I scouted out earlier in the year and thought that would be perfect with some snow and frost on it. And because the sun is up and the cloud is clear, these trees now do have some sun on, so I don't want the snow to melt off it before I capture it. So I've decided to move on and have a quick march up there, trying to avoid the group of cows that were a little bit lively a minute ago. I don't know if they thought I was a farmer or something. If you've only joined this channel in the last year or two, you may not know that I have an irrational fear of cows. I don't like them. They're bigger than me. Oh, look at that though. Absolutely stunning. I think that's going to be a great backdrop to this tree up here. So I just need to march as fast as I possibly can, which is not that easy because I'm trudging through snow. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic, but I'm on a mission. It's exciting though. Invigorating. I feel alive. Oh, right. I am totally messing this up now. That's not the tree that I had in mind. It's actually one of those ones that you can see on the top of the hill there. The sun has come up nice and bright now and I can hardly see a thing 'cause it's so bright. The cloud has cleared so quickly from over the lake or reservoir. The sun is now hitting the tree. The snow and ice are falling off the tree. And I have captured something, but I think the sun was in the frame. And it's just so bright. If it goes behind a cloud again, then it's going to be good, but I'm just surrounded by opportunities and I feel like I'm messing absolutely everything up. Yeah. I should have stayed because the literally about 5 minutes after I left, the cloud cleared from that original composition and that would have been wonderful. It's one of those days where whatever decision you make, it's going to be the wrong one. I'm going to crack on because all is not lost. Conditions are still absolutely fantastic. Landscape photography, eh? This is the reality of it. Today might end up just being a day of shooting lone trees. I think this one is dead, I believe, but I think it's absolutely stunning. Beautiful, covered in that snow, lonely, surrounded by these reeds, also covered in snow. Just looks fantastic, but I don't think it's going to make a very good shot because I don't know if you can see from that position, but there is a lot of the horizon below the tree. So you're sort of struggling for separation with the background, and for me that doesn't work. If I bring the camera lower, as you can see here, the tree starts to rise above the horizon, but then you lose a lot of the context. You lose a lot of those reeds in the foreground. If I'd been here earlier when it was still foggy, then that would have been perfect. But the fog may come back, it is forecast. So if that happens, then I can come back for that one. But as it is, I'm gonna write that one off for now, with an idea in the can and nothing more. But yeah, let's crack on up this hill. Such a privilege having this whole place to myself. Fantastic. Now, a little earlier I mentioned that scouting always pays off, and this is the tree that I was talking about. And here I am talking about this tree in the type of conditions where I think it would look good. Now that I've got to nearly the top of the hill, come across this tree, which I think is probably a bit better looking than the one I photographed back down there with virtually the same background. I'm tempted to shoot it, but I don't think I'm going to, because I think with the shape of that trunk and a bit of the muddy patch round the bottom of it, that tree is going to be perfect when it's full of frost or full of snow. Now, from that, you can see today I was pretty much right. I think it looks beautiful. The snow on the tree and that messy patch of mud is now covered with just a small patch of water, which I actually think looks really nice at the base of the tree. You can see some of the grass and the moss in amongst the base of that tree. But as I was capturing an image, I'm just going to keep shooting because the sun's moving around all the time, the light's changing. But I've come to the realisation that I've done it the wrong way around. If I'd come up here first and shot this tree, there would have been mist. The light would have been just breaking through the cloud and looking really warm and lovely. And then after I'd done that, I then could have gone down to the reservoir and captured the image I wanted to as the mist cleared, because it cleared there second and here first. As you can see behind me there, I think it still looks very beautiful, but I think the thing damaging the image a little bit is that there's no separation from the background, but the mist is coming in again. Look at that over there. Oh no, I'm gonna have to switch lenses. These conditions are just absolutely crazy. Right, I've definitely caught some. Oh no, it's going to disappear. Not good for the camera. Not good for the camera. But it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to Canon. Sorry, Canon. Quickly switch round. Oh no, it's going again. Get rid of that. Oh no. I don't know. I don't know if I got it. And just like that, the moment is gone. It's one of those days where I'm feeling like an idiot. Feeling like I'm totally mucking it up. But I've had these days before on occasions like this when the conditions are so good that the images I have captured are still really quite good. And I suspect that might happen today, but it's just, there's always that little annoyance in the back of your mind that you could have done something even better. But that is the problem with aiming for perfection, isn't it? Is that it doesn't exist. And it's the enemy of good. Right, now I've calmed down a little bit, I'll put those 2 images up on the screen. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, it was worth waiting. I did say the fog was forecast to come back, and it has done. Look how it has transformed that tree. That is now picturesque, separated from the background, looking absolutely epic. As the mist moves around, you can then see some in the background, but I'm shifting positions, moving around, shooting the tree from different angles to try and get the very best of it. I'm actually struggling to see a little bit into the viewfinder because it's so bright out here. The sun's right above and bouncing off, and I don't have very good eyes anyway, as long-time viewers will know. And it's when it's very bright, seeing into the shadow is what I really struggle with the most. So yeah, but I mean, I know that is looking fantastic. I'm excited. I know I've now got the image. Ah, yes. Right, I've got a bit of height now. I have hiked up onto the top of the moors, and it is just an absolute winter paradise that I have entirely to myself. But as you know, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Now, are you looking for a new project for your photography? What about collating all your images and building yourself a website to share them with the world? And the best way to do that, I think, as a photographer, is to use Squarespace. Number one is because it's just so easy to do. Go to squarespace.com, pick one of their beautiful templates, put some of your images, a little bit of your words on there, and before you know it, you're going to have a unique and fantastic looking website. And then, I mean, I think these days sharing your images on social media is pretty miserable, but on Squarespace you can just start with a simple gallery and make your images look big, bold and beautiful and share them any way you like. You can then, if you want to, upgrade it later down the line to an online store and start selling things. If your photography gets a bit more well known, people might start buying your prints and you can sell them with your Squarespace website. You can sell anything else as well, anything that takes your fancy, like cards or calendars or I don't know, anything that you can think of. They also have a member section, so if you write a blog and you want to charge people for that and keep them coming back to your website time and time again, you can do that with Squarespace. I've used Squarespace for years now and I've never looked back. It's just seamless, it's smooth, it's easy, and it's just a joy to put your work out into the world in that way. And I think that's going to be a great project for 2024. So click the link down below to check it out, or go to squarespace.com and you can start a free trial today. And then if you like what you've put together, then use the offer code FIRSTMAN. Tell them that I sent you there and you will get 10% off your first purchase. So I've found myself in this woodland, and have you ever seen a winter woodland quite as beautiful as this? It's absolutely staggering. And I am struggling to make a composition, but that's fine, I don't mind, I just like being here. It would be perfect if it was not for the fact I am in an extremely dodgy position. One wrong footing and I'm sliding down there off a very sheer drop of about, from previous experience of being here, it's about 50 feet down. So I would be a pancake at the bottom, I think, but so yeah, I want to try hard not to do that. So I'm just going to have a quick play around, I think capture a couple of images in here and then move on. Because I don't think what I've got here is going to be that special. But I will show you anyway, show you what I've got. And it was the best I could do at this very moment. So I've walked quite a few miles now, and the conditions are so spectacular that from all the things I've seen, I've kind of lost a bit of perspective about what's normal. I feel like there's photo opportunities absolutely everywhere, but then I'm getting my camera out and it's not quite working, and it's just sort of almost overwhelming my senses. Like, let's look over this dry stone wall, and just that blanket white, that winter wonderland with the sun pushing some warmth through all that. Just, it's a fantastic feeling, but I think that looks incredible to my eyes, but I just know it's not going to make a photo. I think what I'm going to do is hike back down, back to the other end of the reservoir where we started, and see if there's some compositions that appear there, because these conditions look like they're going to last all day. So if I hang around till sunset, I could be rewarded. Right, I've walked about 10 miles now, and I've come full circle and ended up right back where I started, because I am an image missing today. I want this shot, but as you can see, the fog is still here, and it's probably the thickest it's been all day. But what it did allow me to do at the other end of this reservoir was do something that I don't normally do and photograph man-made objects, and I actually think I quite enjoyed it. A little long exposure of the reservoir. I don't even know what it is. It's the bit where the water goes down, but I'll show you that in a sec. Yeah, just a fantastic day, and a reminder of why we do landscape photography. It's so good for your well-being. The act of being creative, I think, is something that's so good for our soul, especially when you're in the moment. You're not trying to impress anybody. You're not trying to make the image for anybody else. You're just putting something of yourself into that piece of work. I've had a lot of this place to myself today, which has just been magical. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it too. Hang around for those pictures. I'll put them up now. But please give the video a like. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you think. And I will see you on another one very, very soon. Bye.